Odyssey Institute, and again, as we just talked about just before, they won 70-3. Now, in this game, Gage was near perfect, throwing 26 for 29, and for all you mathematicians out there, that's .859 completion rate. He had 459 pass yards and 9 touchdown throws. He also had a rushing touchdown as well, so 10 total touchdowns for Gage. He was certainly shooting for the record, and he tied it. Now, guys, what do you guys think about that? 9 touchdown passes ties the record.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's pretty crazy to think about. What do you guys think?
I mean, if anything, I would have shot for that 10.
Yeah,
But I mean,
he ended up running in 1 touchdown, so maybe he could have switched it out. But sometimes the play opens up, and you can't think about the record. You just got to get the play best you can.
mm-hmm.
So 9 touchdowns. He was Cardinals player of the week last year. His first week with Paradise Honors. He was someone we've talked about, I feel like, all season because he's amazing. Leading the league leading Arizona in pass yards. I don't think he's dropping from that spot from 460 yards. And he might even take the lead in touchdown passes with 9. I mean, I can't name anybody else that's had 9 touchdowns in a game.
No, not in one game. Even over the course of like 2 or 3 games,
Yeah,
a lot of dudes don't get 9 touchdowns.
That's unheard of. Now, I do want to ask, the record was 10 touchdown passes, and they were playing a team which, obviously they think they could have gotten, obviously. Now, the Odyssey Institute they're a 3A school as well, so they were in the same division. Now, do you think, if you're in Gage's shoes and you're at 7 touchdown passes or 6, are you going to go for that record? If you can, 100%.
Definitely.
I think he was going for it.
Me too. And I think, you don't go for a record unless you know you can really get it. Obviously, he thought he could. He tied it. So, that's just as good. He had a running touchdown. That was a crazy game, guys. 9 touchdowns. How many touchdowns has your quarterback thrown this season? Do you know?
He's done maybe 5 or 6.
Which isn't bad over 3 games. But 9 in 1 game for Gage. He threw 5 last week. So, it's pretty insane. Once in a lifetime performance for sure. Now, Lana, tell us about someone from your team that had a great game.
So our running back from Willow Canyon, Brady Ferris. He's done great in the past 2 games. First game was a little rough, but the next 2 games he's rushed for 2 touchdowns each game. This past game he had 151 rush yards on, I believe it was 4 carries. He was balling. Last year he only rushed for 400 yards in the whole season. So this season already rushing over 200 plus yards in 3 games. Come on, that's crazy. And I believe he's gonna have a great season this season, and he's destined for great things. What do you guys think about this?
Well, I was at the game, and I was able to see him. The opening play for your offense, he ran 30 yards. Nearly 30 yards.
Nice.
So I'm like, this might be one of those nights where he just goes off.
Mm-hmm.
You said 8 carries. Now, just watching the game, I couldn't see every carry he had. But the ones where he, took it for 30 yards, I think he had a 60-yard run where he didn't get touched. He ran through the gap and was just bye,
Gone.
And
last week, he was also playing punt returner and took it to the house
yeah.
on the punt return.
So he's not only a great running back, but he's a return man. Does he play defense at all, or
no,
just offense?
running back and
Just a score, pure score. So what do you think about that, Daniel?
Dude, he sounds like he's killing it.
Yeah.
And already there's a lot of improvement from last season, which is exciting to see, dude, because he's definitely gonna pass his rushing yards from last season.
Oh yeah, 400 to already 150 in 1 game.
Yeah.
Do you know what he is on the season, or
I believe he has 268 rush yards this season.
268?
Yeah, so
Now,
he's well on his way.
I do want to say this: 8 carries isn't. That's not a ton of carries for 150 yards. Do you think he should be getting that ball more?
Yeah, I definitely think he should be getting the ball more if he's just putting up touchdowns and getting a lot of yards each carry. So,
Right.
if we give him the ball more touchdowns for us.
Yeah. Now, is there another running back on the team that maybe he split carries with? I don't remember if there was a second running back.
there is a second running back. He's a transfer from Kellis.
Gotcha.
His name's Eddie Weatherby. He's not as quick or as like agile as Brady is, but I mean he's still doing it. He's doing his job.
So once you punch, you got Brady.
Yeah.
He can get a 30-yard game, and you can put the other guy in. He can get 5, 6 yards. And that's just, as a good offense, it's just ground and pound. That kind of seems like, just watching the game, that kind of seems like what your offense is. A lot of sweeps, a lot of runs to the edge, a lot of runs at the middle. And Brady Ferris, great game, 8 carries. He's had 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, nearly perfect. And that means every single time he's touching that ball, he's getting a first down at least. So Gage Baker, Brady Ferris, some amazing performances this past weekend. Do you guys think there's a bright future for both those athletes?
Well, I do know for Gage, he most likely has a really bright future. Brady, I believe he has 2 offers so far.
From where?
He said one school is from Minnesota.
Okay.
I don't know where the other one was, but so yeah, I think they both have bright futures.
Yeah. These dudes are killing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Gage for sure. How do you go 26 for 29? That's pretty insane at a high school level.
Yeah. And I even spoke to one of the officials that was at that game, that officiated the game, and he said, it kind of seemed like their offense was just, everything was coming to them easily. Gage didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to work extra hard to make these plays happen. They just, the O-line blocked, the receivers caught the ball, they ran good routes, and it was really just a really smooth game. From what I was told, that the Paradise Honors, their offense was just a steady tempo. They marched down the field, and obviously 70 points. They had no trouble scoring, and their defense played great. Now this was a home game for Paradise Honors, so obviously if you're a home fan, 70-3 is pretty great.
Yeah,
would you guys leave that game a little early if you're maybe don't have a kid playing or a family member playing on the team? Or are you gonna stay the entire thing?
I'd probably stay the whole entire thing.
If you're getting beat 70-3, you're probably gonna leave.
Well, yeah, you're gonna leave. But if I'm there just to see, I'm watching the whole thing. But
Right.
I want to see.
Well,
I want
to see him break the record. That's the thing.
Yeah. So
If he's that close.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went in one of these next few games and did break the record.
You think so? Now, do you guys think he may break the passing record or the passing touchdowns record this year?
he most likely will break the passing yards record. He might.
Yeah. I think it's like 6,000 yards. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That would be
crazy.
That would be crazy. I can't wait to see what he can do next week. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this segment for Show Me Your Numbers. Up next, we have our pro sports report in the big leagues. So don't go away.